you know, the Hoover thing to me is really amazing. Mm-hmm. And it's hysterical because I know Hoover is up there going, thank God. Thank God someone else can be at the bottom of the rung on this presidential.
Franklin Pierce, Andrew Johnson,
oh, yeah, they're
James Buchanan. They're having a good time.
Those champagne glasses clicking on in heaven because they found somebody who's worse than them at being president. And I think that's more than anything else. One last point for me on this, which is hysterical. He said he cut a 350-foot gash. Okay, A, where was it? B, were they snorkeling? I mean, if you got to go underwater to cut the gash. No, Mr. President, the guy you paid $14 million in a no-bid contract did what a no-bid contractor will do. He got his money and he gone, and he left you with a mess. And the last final point, Simone, my friend Simone, she and I have been going back and forth this. Here's the deal. When I was a kid, we used to go down to the reflecting pool. And guess what we would do? We would sit there, we would walk in it, splash the water, and wade and have a lot of fun. So if that's now a crime under this administration, bring it. I'll be there on Wednesday.
He was not supposed to say he will be there on Wednesday, Luke. You know.
Wade in the water.
Wade in the water.
I
don't think, I mean, the people. So I was at the reflecting pool on Saturday. I coerced my family into doing a monuments tour. Why? Because why not? On a little electric golf cart. And one of the stops was at the Lincoln Memorial at the reflecting pool. And in the reflecting pool were people with hazmat suits on and those little fishing net things, fishing out the algae and everything else. And, you know, it's just so crazy, Luke, because the reflecting pool story sounds absurd on its own until you realize it's actually a pattern. It's Trump's governing philosophy. You know, it's the criminalization of ordinary life and ordinary politics. So yeah, now wading in the water at the reflecting pool is criminal. The algae isn't just algae, now it's sabotage. You know, bureaucratic disagreement isn't just bureaucratic disagreement, it's treason, right? Critical coverage you don't like isn't just journalism. Now it is corruption and also treason. Like, this is a pattern. Heck, protests isn't just dissent. You know, it is.
And that's what I think is so scary about this, because there is an immediate reaction where you look at this and you go, this is absurd. I can't believe this is leading the 7 o'clock news. And then you take a step back and you go, you know what? This is a very serious story. And the reason why it's serious is because there are other regimes that do this. And let me tell you, they are not proudly democratic regimes. There are places like Belarus. There are places like China. There are places like Iran, places where dissent is immediately curtailed. And anything that is embarrassing to the dear leader has to be done away with. So you're told in those countries, don't believe what you see in your eyes. How is there a 350-foot gash that suddenly missed all the cameras that have been down in the reflecting pool since all this happened? News to me. So I look at this and I think it's deadly serious, because it just shows you the lengths that this administration will go to try and tell you not to believe what you see with your own eyes.
Yeah. Can I tell you why it's politically serious?
Yeah.
Because in this, we're picking up this on Qualitative in a way we haven't picked up before. Like, we make the case about corruption all the time. And corruption is usually a difficult sort of connecting the dots, right? The average voter out there in middle America who's doing they're going about their regular day. It's hard for them to connect the corruption and the grifting with crypto and the defense contracting and all these other things that are. But this, you paid your friend to fix a pool, and the pool is a disaster. It is so crystal clear, and it encapsulates the corruption and the incompetence in a way that this may seem like just $14 million is nothing to the grifting that we know has been going on, but to the American people, this puts it all in focus. It's an easy story they can understand.
Crystal clear analogy green.
There you go. You know, I think, Brittany, I want to play for you tourists and D.C. locals reflecting on this pool, because as, you know, D.C. local, former D.C. local, I can identify with some. So let's take a quick listen.
I think it smells worse than it looks. That's just, it's not what Trump promised. He promised that it would be blue and clear. I think it was a gigantic waste of taxpayer dollars.
It's definitely a message about the current presidency and what's going on, and it's an interesting parallel to see.
We wasted all this money to, I guess, make it better, but it's not better. Obviously, now we have guards here and a green pool and cleaners.
So, Brett, here's the deal. It's not what Trump promised. and we wasted a lot of money to get there.
Yeah. Promises made, promises not kept. Again, I'm not surprised. And as someone, the only person at this table with America Blue on, I feel like I'm authority to speak on this issue. You know, we can laugh about it, and we've been laughing. We've seen all the memes. But in reality, it's such a waste of taxpayer money, nearly $15 million. How much more money is it going to cost to fix the issue that didn't even exist in the first
Well, they're
place?
projecting, what, 16?
Right. And then on top of that, wildlife has died, and he can't fix the algae, so he's threatening handcuffs. And I think that is a problem. To your point, it feels very Orwellian. It's, believe me, forget what color it is. You see it with your own eyes, but it's not true. And that is scary. And that's the thing that is the scariest part to me. And I think that's what Americans need to be concerned about, because that is not a democracy. That's not America. Since when are you not allowed to put your hands in the reflecting pool? I understand if it's a public health crisis, but they haven't said it's a public health crisis. So if that's the issue, then tell us.
Right.
But otherwise, what are you doing?